Welcome to the Aegance Offscript Podcast, where we talk to industry leaders who share their stories, insights, and lessons, unfiltered and unscripted. I'm your host, Lawrence, and today we're joined by Vithushaan Manoraj, co-founder and CTO of Sparx Digital. Now, Sparx Digital is a Dubai-based IT and digital solutions firm doing everything from web and app development, cloud services, cybersecurity, managed IT support, and advisory consultancy. What's interesting is how they span from strategic design through to operational delivery. Welcome, Vithushaan. Really great to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you, Lawrence. It's a pleasure being here as well. We really appreciate, having this podcast. So let me just give you an intro of what Sparx Digital is.
Please do.
Basically, Sparx Digital is an IT services company. We kind of break down into two important areas of expertise. One of them, our primary, would be managed services, and the other one, which is our secondary department, would be web and application development. Why I say managed services is our primary is because managed services spans across a lot of technologies and a lot of components, from IT infrastructure to cybersecurity, network services, systems assurance. We could keep going on. So there's a lot of components that need to be intertwined between each other that would make it function seamlessly. And this requires a lot of resources, a lot of planning, a lot of strategic decision making, and so on. And then we have our web and application development platform as well, where we will be able to develop products for you, whether it's custom built or whether it's off the shelf. We'll be able to assist you in packaging something, a product that you would require with the ideas in your vision board.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And thank you so much for that succinct summary of what it is that you do. Now, your role is CTO at the company. How have you found that role has evolved since you co-founded Sparx Digital, especially given the demands and everything that you do at Sparx?
Yeah, the CTO role, as of lately, it's been a position where you don't just deliver strategic paths to your employees and your vendors or partners. It's a more hands-on role right now, you would say. People, whether it's your organization or whether it's outside your organization, they would come to you with infrastructure and digital solution advice, like what do you think is the best path to handle this, which would require a lot more knowledge on the subject matter, and having that knowledge would help them understand, okay, where are we going to position ourselves in this current market, and what's the best idea to position ourselves. Long before, CTOs used to delegate the jobs down to their head of IT or service delivery or so on. I mean, we'd love to have that level of operational structure as well, but clients right now look for a little bit more from the top end of the organization. Like what are you able to provide me in terms of how our digital pipeline is going to look like, how our digital workflow is going to look like, and be able to build off that. So nowadays, CTO, while I do provide a strategic vision to our organization and, the technology we'd love to use, AI plays a big role in this. And, I will elaborate more into this, but, a lot of customers are now looking to AI for solutions. So, they can eliminate a lot of third-party people or a lot of third-party information that would require to, for them to implement their ideas. While AI is great and it's booming and everything about AI is amazing, AI is a tool that's there to help us, not to replace us. So we want to ensure that people understand how AI is going to help us in this path.
How do you balance the CTO versus co-founder roles, essentially balancing your sort of immediate operational demands versus longer term innovation or investments?
At Sparx Digital, we work with partners who help us, um, understand the requirement that's needed for us to run this operation. Like I said, as CTO, I have to also look after my clients as well as I have to look after my business, which is also a bit of the co-founder role. So it's important that, I have the right partners, the right resources to help me, in case I'm in a loophole or need some understanding or a bit more hands-on experience, we're able to reach out to them and, ask for their support and so on. So, partnering up is one great way to deal with this. We're able to, cut down a lot of time operationally as well. But at the same time, Sparx Digital is all about providing a greater customer experience. I think this is one of the key elements in my business that we're looking at. We want to be able to provide a customer experience that's of a next stage or next level rather than what's currently being put out there. A lot of people are too busy, providing services, providing functions, and just closing it at that, and just handling it with okay, this is how our business is going to operate now, and go on. Whereas we want to give our clients and our customers first-hand experience in, like, listen, you've paid for a service, we're going to give it to you, we're going to be there for you. We're not just going to, take your money and cut you off wherever you intended to stop services. And this is what we kind of want to provide as well. So, partnering up with the right people will help you definitely, understand where you are between operational and business wise.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about the vision for Sparx Digital in the next 2 to 3 years, what are
Yes.
some of the biggest technology trends or forces that you believe will shape where you take the company?
There's quite a broad spectrum of services that we're looking at, technology that we're looking at. For example, in the Middle East right now, Saudi Arabia has been investing quite a lot in their future. And one of the key elements in this is the Google Cloud solution. So PIF, which is Saudi Arabia's funding head, have completely invested in Google to run their infrastructure. And all the following services or companies as well are trying to get into Google Cloud to, enable them to work seamlessly. I myself run on Google Cloud, and we are looking at being strategic partners with Google in order to, function and levitate their services across the Middle East as well. UAE right now, as a whole, Microsoft is pretty big. AWS is also pretty big. So Google is, looking at how we can, capture this market and help us. So one of their key strengths is being able to tell, we have the Saudi Arabia backing as well in order to help us understand how Google Cloud is going to help businesses across the Middle East. This is one of it. We also have kind of struggles with this because, as I said, our partners who are based in Australia as well, they are Microsoft certified partners. And, this causes a little bit of operational friction where, like, how can we implement these products without, putting down the other? So, we're trying to fix these challenges as well, get over these hurdles. But, we invite all technologies. We love AWS, we love Microsoft, we love Google, and we love everything that's out there as well. Depending on the client and the size of business and the size of the budget, we have enough and more services and options to be able to help them out. This would be the key area. The secondary issue is AI. As we know, this world, AI post-COVID is a massive, massive word right now. A lot of people are looking into how we can implement AI with our security, how we can implement AI with our day-to-day routines. All these questions are being asked. And like I said before, AI is there to help us, not to replace us. So we're looking at how AI can be integrated into the everyday tools in order to, function seamlessly. Of course, Microsoft has done this with Copilot, Google has done this with Gemini, and a lot more tools that are out there. I mean, your everyday Apple iPhone has its own Apple Intelligence that's able to, help you with AI related stuff. So we don't want to say we're going to completely use AI to eliminate, whatever operational standpoint you have in your organization. That's not the goal. I always tell my clients, we can make things easy for you, but AI is not the only way to go. You need to be able to have resources that understand how a technological infrastructure works. People out there who, spend so much money getting their certification so that they know what they're talking about, and that AI does not completely replace this. So we want to be able to get on a hands-on environment with our clients, have our field engineers sitting there with them, talking them through how they can simplify this process, and how we can use these technologies to help you just seamlessly move across these platforms. This is important because, like I said, a lot of organizations are aiming to cut down on being with resources rather than, getting help from resources. So this is one of the visions that we're looking at Sparx Digital to, embrace, because end of the day, customer experience is key, and we want to make sure our customers have an easy process. And, sometimes reading things off just from AI conversations is not going to completely help. But if you're willing to read through AI information and still not pick anything up, we want to be there with you in order to help you out and ease some of those thoughts and information.
Yeah, you raise a couple of very interesting topics there,
Yeah.
challenges, solutions, and innovation. Are there any strategic innovations or changes that you've led at Sparx Digital that, in hindsight, have transformed the way that you deliver value, both internally, but more importantly, to your clients as well?
Yeah, definitely. When we started off with Sparx Digital, the tools that we were using were not of the highest caliber, but they were still, one of the best tools out there. We were on TeamViewer, where we were able to remotely connect into our customers, and able to manage them and get reports of what kind of systems assurances they're running, how their network's running, and so on. Basically, they are managed platform products. And we've been able to look into, okay, how can we take this a step further? Our clients wanted a bit more reporting. They wanted AI involved in it so that they can understand. Products such as Ninja One and Hexagon are some of the products that we've been able to tap into and provide these level of details to our clients. And it's been a big hit. They've been very happy with the level of reporting they're able to achieve, the level of understanding they're able to achieve, and move forward with their strategic vision as well.
If we turn inwards and we look internally within Sparx Digital from an innovation perspective, what internal systems or processes have you put in place that you feel are foundational for maintaining quality across your projects and services?
This was key for us in being able to understand where we are in terms of a digital solution for ourselves as well as for our clients. So, like I said, I myself, we are on Google Cloud, and we've been able to, leverage all of Google Cloud's applications and cloud computing as well. One of the key areas is we've incorporated Google Gemini into all of our products across Google Cloud, from documents to emails to the chat, and even some of the development work. This was a massive improvement in our productivity. We were able to, understand side by side what we are doing, as well as what the infrastructure is telling us we should be able to do, and how we're able to, apply this process along all of our digital solutions and how we want to transfer that analog solution into a digital solution. So Google Gemini has been impressive, and being able to incorporate that into our strategic vision as well has been a key game changer.
And in terms of process metrics, do you track things like issues, uptime, ticket resolution, client satisfaction levels?
Yes. So we are using Ninja One for this right now, and we're able to track what our uptimes are looking like, what our what our clients' uptimes are looking like as well, whether we are causing any disruption, if any other tools are causing any disruptions as well. So we're trying to keep our process metrics not too detailed, but internally, yes, we're looking at a lot. When we're talking with key stakeholders, we do bring this up a lot as well. But the tools that we're using right now to log these metrics is not too complicated. Like I said, Ninja One has everything available with a one-click report. So we're able to download all these things with the technology that we have and just present it to the client.
And now, if we cast our eye in terms of the markets that you're operating in, you obviously based in the UAE, you've mentioned Saudi, you've mentioned having partners in Australia. What are the key markets that you're operating in beyond those?
So we are based in the UAE. That's our headquarters. We do work with US, UK, and the Australia. Some of our clients were originally from Australia, and we still keep in touch with that network, and we're able to manage these clients as well. But obviously, our key market area right now is the UAE, and we want to be able to win a lot more in the UAE. In fact, right now, Sparx Digital is working with Qatar on an application called Bot Butler. It's an interactive digital menu application, and we're looking at launching the product by the end of October, and it's going to be an interesting one in the market because there were a couple of key areas that are missing in the current digital interactive menus and ordering market. And we've addressed these issues, and we're hoping that the people who are going to understand this product or be able to use this product are going to benefit from it massively. And we're looking at creating a big boom with this product in the Middle East market right now. As for managed service products, like I said, Microsoft is still king in the UAE, and a lot of companies are using them, and they want to keep using them. We're just trying to understand how they can how we can help them amplify what they're using right now, and or if we can help them with a much broader Google cloud solution. It's not easy trying to pull out clients from what they're already comfortable with. And, they've been working in this sector for a long time, and they do not, a lot of people are comfortable with where they are and how they've managed everything so far. So change is something that, a lot of people are not comfortable with, but, getting them to understand how this small change can result in a big, massive impact later down the line is critical.
The UAE is a competitive market. I think you compound that with the fact that the MSP, cybersecurity, IT services space is just as competitive. What's been the most effective strategy for acquiring new clients in recent years?
See, how I run my organization is, I've been fortunate enough to work with great managers, and I've also been fortunate enough to work with not so great managers. And, my eyes and ears, they've been able to help me gather all that information and understand what people want to hear, and what people want to see. And, this was key in being able to approach a client and, talk to them and get them to understand where I come from, and also try to understand where they're coming from, For me, this is key because building a relationship with a client, a one-on-one open relationship, is essential for me to be able to provide the solutions that I'm providing. We don't want to just go out to clients and say, hey, you're using Microsoft Dynamics, why don't you switch over to this product? If it's working fine for them, there's no point of moving away from it. So I'm able to talk to them and understand, okay, what other aspect of your business do you think is giving you an itch that you're not able to resolve? Maybe I'm able to resolve that itch for you. So it's all about talking to the clients, talking to the customers, understanding, okay, what their problem areas are and how we can help you resolve that problem area, while making sure we don't just bombard you with technical jargons or such. We want to give you a picture of what's happening and how we can resolve it, so you get a clearer idea into, okay, how this is going to benefit your business and our business as well.
I think that's a very sound approach, is obviously looking at things from a bit more of a strategic standpoint and trying to understand those pain points and then sort of bolting solutions around that. But
yeah,
in order to have those conversations, you need to be knocking on doors, and those doors need to be opened for you.
Yeah.
Do you find that you're leaning more on referrals, on partnerships, on content marketing, or direct sales, or is it a combination of all of these?
It is a combination of all of them. A lot of people nowadays look to social media. Either it's posting on Instagram, posting on LinkedIn, talking about leadership skills. A lot of it, social media plays a big role in what you want to do. Sparx Digital is looking at, amping up its digital marketing picture, how we can boost that and, be able to pull in customers through social media as well. At the same time, I've been in this industry for almost 14 years now. And, I've made some great network. I've done some great networking, made some great connections. I'm able to talk to these people all over the world and, understand, if you're not able to, figure something out, let me know, maybe we can help you out, lend a hand and so on. And, this is one of the key ways that, we try to bring in customers as much as possible. I'm not a huge fan of cold calling, new clients, because I understand how people feel about that. But it is a technique that's been used since the golden era of technology, and people still do it. People still win off it. We're trying to not lean into that as much as we can. We want to, organically create a picture where people are like, oh, Sparx Digital, I've heard of them. And be able to talk to people and, come back to us, and we're able to, sit down with them and understand what's going on.
What would you say are some of the biggest barriers that you're facing in terms of converting that lead generation, so the knocking on the doors, into the ability to have the conversations that you alluded to earlier, where you're unearthing some of the pain points and then presenting some of the solutions?
Yeah, so I think the biggest barrier would be cost. This is of course something that's very, very critical in this industry, because you see, you could be a small to medium enterprise and still look at a budget of at least 5 figures in order to implement a solution. And you could also be an organization of 100 to 1,000 employees and have a 6-figure budget to implement a solution. Technology is not cheap anymore, contrary to popular belief. I think everyone would agree. You could even complain about Netflix being a $1 purchase back 5 years ago or so, but now it's a double-digit purchase. And that's something that a lot of people online are talking about, like, why are we paying so much money for this service when we can, go to the cinemas for the same price and watch it, at a better rate. But, the comfort of staying at home and being able to, just being yourself and yourself and your TV plays a big role in that investment. Likewise, technology is not cheap. Infrastructure maintenance is not cheap. understanding why you're paying a premium service in order to get a team to handle this issue for you, rather than you going through on the internet, or paying a subscription fee for ChatGPT and being able to resolve the problem yourself, are two completely different scenarios. So converting people from understanding how AI is not just helping you, but it can also impact you negatively if you're not using it right, is a big pain point that we need to address in this modern age. And we're able to make customers understand, okay, there is a negative side of AI as well, where it's not something that you can just read off and go apply and have it fixed. So these are some of the conversion points that we also try to bring into the table, and uh, get customers to understand, and eventually get that lead to a conversion.
It sounds like education around what you're doing, the sort of cybersecurity, managed security provider space is on everyone's minds. How do we educate the client base that this is a paramount issue that really needs to
Correct.
be discussed at a board level? I think
Yeah.
oftentimes there's that disconnect between, a CISO or a CIO that you're talking to and the key decision makers at that board level that need to understand that, these are crucial elements that need to be implemented across the businesses.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
So if we have a look at your talent and team dynamic within Sparx Digital, what's your approach for building and scaling your technical team so that they're able to deliver across the multiple time zones that you mentioned earlier?
This is a key component in having a successful IT operation. End of the day, it's your talent that's available at your organization that's going to put you on top of your customers as well. We're able to provide certifications to resources through our organization itself, and creating and fostering an environment where we're understanding with each other, we're open with each other, we understand how we want to resolve certain technical issues, bringing in all the ideas together, what we can improvise on and what we can improve on, and so on. Like I said, I've been fortunate enough to work with great managers. I've been fortunate enough to work with bad managers. And, taking in all this information has helped me understand how I want my team to function, how I want them to collaborate together, how I want them to operate together. And this is very important for me, that I'm able to resonate with my employees as well, in order to foster a working environment where results will automatically, show across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the idea of company culture is something that fascinates me. I speak about it a lot on my social media channels, in particular on LinkedIn. I'm very interested in company culture and keen to understand from your perspective, how do you maintain a coherent culture as your team grows and starts to spread out? Assumedly you're going to be attacking new markets, that's going to spread your team across multiple time zones, and maintaining a company culture when people are, 6 hours behind or 6 hours ahead becomes a real challenge. How do you see yourself managing that process?
100%. This is a challenge too that we deal with currently. Um, we want to be able to reward our employees. End of the day, when you look at what people are doing in life, or how they want to achieve certain objectives in life, money plays a huge role. We want to be able to incentivize and sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? Pause.
Incentivize, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We want to be able to incentivize our employees. We want to be able to reward them monetary wise, that they've done a great job, how they can look at, being able to reach their financial goals or so on, as such, like how we can help them financially to, help this business grow and help them grow as well. And while making sure that, we bring in the revenue as well from our clients to ensure that we provide technical standards of the highest level. And, I've always known that, being able to being able to simply put money on the line when operational level of work is required seems to always, work. That's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. People, this is what people are working for. End of the day, we want to be able to, financially gain something out of it, as well as we want to be able to make sure that, we achieve our goals and where we want to be in terms of organizational structure or so on. So this is key, being able to revolve them with, okay, the requirements that they look at their jobs, and also monetarily wise, giving them what they require as well.
In terms of incentivizing staff, what you just said resonates with me and reminds me of a quote from Daniel H. Pink's book, Drive. If you haven't read it, you should really give it a squiz. So he says in that book, the best use of money as a motivator is to pay people enough to take the issue of money off the table. And I find oftentimes companies don't quite get that point. And so, the employees are constantly feeling like they're being underpaid for whatever reason. So
this is exactly right. When employees are thinking about money in the back of their head and, what they want to achieve, this kind of creeps in with the work and the quality of work that you're trying to achieve. You take this away from the picture, everything just happens smoothly and to the highest level. And I've seen it work. I've been in it. I've made it work as well. And, this is the only way I believe that we run Sparx Digital in order to achieve that quality of work.
So tell me, what are you most proud of right now in how Sparx Digital is running? What's working really well for you?
There's a lot we can talk about, how, like I said, choosing the right partners. This is essential in being able to run the business. Our resources have been, our partners and the resources they've provided to us have been amazing in providing, seamless support, seamless conversations, integrating the right tools into the organization so that, we're able to communicate across the board and, not have issues anywhere in between. And, just making sure that our strategic goals and our strategic idea is resonating with the organization and the employees, mostly being able to understand where we are and what we're trying to achieve and how we're trying to achieve that without, making them feel any less or making them feel like we're being burnt out to do this work or anything as such. So, we strive on building a great organizational culture, and it's working out with us, and we're enjoying it, we're having fun with it, we're talking to the right people. Some of our clients are also happy to be able to converse with us. Like I said, we want to be able to give that customer experience, and that all stems from what kind of a culture you try to incorporate into the organization. And we're quite proud that I was able to learn so much from my previous roles and be able to incorporate that into this business and be able to get a massive gain out of it.
That's what's working well at Sparx Digital. On the flip side of that question, what would you say is the biggest frustration or bottleneck at the moment? What's keeping you up at night?
Yeah, I would say what's keeping me up at night is the competitive nature of the market in the UAE. It is not a market where you can easily come into and tap into, considering certain organizations have worked with their partners for so many years, and being able to break that, it's not something you can break. That bond has been created, and just trying to get them to understand, how a fresh picture would help you a little bit more, customer focused orientation into your business can go a long way. This is something that I am trying to, this is something that frustrates me, because I've spoken to a couple of, customers. I've understood how their digital transformation is working, but they do not want to move away from that only because it's easy for them. They're comfortable with that. And, it's just how it is right now. A lot of organizations don't have knowledge bases that they've built to, move forward technology wise. They still run analog, analog ideas of how their business is running, and they stick to it. And trying to get them to move to a knowledge base and keep everything digital, so that whoever replaces a current role can easily come into that role and pick it up from where they need to pick it up, is a major challenge that we are facing right now.
Yeah, and I'd imagine being a relatively new player in the market must be quite a substantial challenge to try and
Right. Yeah.
overcome. How are you looking at addressing these issues?
Yeah, we're trying to partner up with a lot of local entities, whether it's organizations or through the government, what kind of help the government can give to their citizens and the government boards and so on. So we're trying to, work with a lot of people to understand how Sparx Digital can help you guys. We're a small organization, but we have the right people for it. We have the right mindset for it, and basically building conversation with them, and just being able to, come out of that conversation with something meaningful. Meaningful, sorry.
If you look ahead in terms of the future for Sparx Digital, what's next for the company, for example, are there any new services, any markets, or any technologies that you're considering to grow Sparx Digital impact into?
Definitely, we're always looking at how we can, what we can bring into the market to help make lives easier. Where we've been talking with Odoo as well to become a strategic partner for ERP solutions and CRM solutions and so on. And we're working with them to understand, okay, how can you incorporate with us without being a competition to our already existing product, so that we're able to leverage different price points of products in our category and be able to provide them to the necessary organizations. So we are always open to discussions with partners, vendors, and so on to bring in what we can and how we can and what's out there in the market. We're always trying to be innovative, and we're always trying to look at how we can understand these innovations and apply it to our customers as well. So yeah, we're like I said, we're always open to innovation and always open to vendors, partners, and more solutions.
And how do you see Sparx balancing innovation with maintaining reliability and trust, especially in a sensitive area like cybersecurity and infrastructure?
It's important that we stay up to date with net news, technology news, technology that's happening around the world, what's happening around the world, technologically, as how the cybersecurity market is playing out right now. What kind of has there been a breach on any of the major players in the in the organization, and if so, how did that happen? We're always trying to learn. We're always trying to sit down and sit with our employees as well and understand what happened here, and go through their release notes, their patch notes, their root cause analysis. We tend to read these so that we make sure that our clients are not affected by these problems, and we're prepared for them.
If you cast your gaze into the crystal ball and you look into the future, where would you like to see Sparx Digital in the next 12 to 18 months?
We would like to be a big player in the Middle East market. This would be quite an achievement for us. While having a lot of strategic partners with us involved, Google, Microsoft, we want to be able to incorporate them and be able to take forward their services across the Middle East, and broaden their services as well. In the next 12 years, like I said, we want to take our services, but the key thing that we're looking at is we want to be different in terms of the customer service that we provide, which I feel like is a lost art. Being able to speak to someone, understand their problem, resolve it for them, and just being able to take away from that, like they're happy with what we've provided and so on. We feel like a lot of businesses nowadays are just looking into products and services as just a business motive or monetary motive, and the form of providing a great customer service is lost. End of the day, managed services is all about the services that you're providing to a customer. And, we want to be able to take someone's pain away and make it easy for them. And, we want to be at the forefront of being like, you have a problem with your digital solution. Sparx Digital are the people to go to. They are amazing to work with. They're fun to work with, and they completely understand. They'll make life easy for you. So this is what we're looking at in 12 years, while, obviously strategically placing us across the Middle East and internationally as well, and being able to incorporate all the available technological services that are out there.
And just to clarify, are you talking about 12 months or 12 years? Because there's substantial difference between the two.
But sorry, did I say years or did I say months?
You were saying years, but I assumed you were talking months.
No, we're talking, the next 12 months as well as the next 5 years or so on.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, that's great. Well, this has been a really fascinating conversation, Vithushaan. I really appreciate it. For our viewers and our listeners who want to get a hold of Sparx Digital and want to find out a little bit more about you, where's the best place for them to connect?
You can connect with us on LinkedIn, on Instagram as well, and our website, sparxdigital.tech. And you will find all the relevant information you need there to get in touch with us.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. I've really enjoyed the conversation. I wish you and the team at Sparx Digital all the best. It sounds like you've got a lot going on, which is always a good thing. And, I'll be keeping a very close eye on Sparx Digital as you guys take on the world and shoot the lights out.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. Thank you so much to everyone listening as well. This was a pleasure, with you as well. And fingers crossed, we're able to achieve great things.
Amazing. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.